medical bills. Those two words, if you're from the United States, can scare the hell out of you. Copays, deductibles, insurance premiums. If you're thinking about moving to Mexico, you'd have to ask yourself, what's it like? What's the medical like down in Mexico? What's it going to cost me if I move down there and I leave the system that I know I'm comfortable with, even though it's expensive and scary? Well, today I'm going to give you 3 examples of how I have interacted with the healthcare industry here in Mexico. If you're new to the channel, my name is Troy, and the channel's name is Silver Fox in Mexico, and I share my experiences that I come across in my daily life and things that I find that could possibly be helpful to you if you are living here or if you're thinking about moving to Mexico. So before I even continue, let me just say, if you watch to the end of the video, I'm going to give you one little life hack that will save you a lot of money when it comes to your medical stuff. So let's get right into it. The first example I have is this guy right here, sumatriptan. This is a generic drug that I bought today. The actual original is called Imitrex. I paid 136 pesos for it today, and inside the box there are 2 tablets. In the United States, they sell the sumatriptan, the generic version, in Walgreens, CVS, etc., and the packets come with 9 pills in a box, and those run $185 for 9 pills, and 136 pesos is roughly $6, so $3 each for the pills. They're 100 milligrams. I usually cut mine in half, and so I end up getting 4 pills, 50 milligrams each for each box that I buy. I used to have a lot of migraines in the United States, and now since I've moved to Mexico, I get them occasionally, not too often, and it's always nice to have a box handy. The best part about this particular drug is the pharmacy that I go to does not require a prescription. So that saves me the cost of going to a doctor and the time that I have with going to the doctor, setting up an appointment. You know, in the United States, it's going to cost you a $50 copay or maybe $100 out of pocket to go see your doctor, simply for them to write on a piece of paper, hey, you need this medication. The second example I have is back in February of 2022. I was temporarily living in San Miguel de Allende, and my dog was attacked by another dog. And during the fight, I tried to break it up, and the other dog bit me in the finger, and it was blood everywhere. It did not look good. The Mexican family down a couple houses down witnessed the attack, and they were kind enough to take me to the local hospital in San Miguel. And I gave the check-in clerk my temporary residency card. She input me into the system. I waited roughly about 5 minutes before a doctor came out, brought me back into an examination room. He did speak some English. He explained that he wanted to take an x-ray to see if there was any kind of damage in the bone, any chips. X-ray technician came out, got me, put me in a wheelchair, wheeled me back to the x-ray area. The doctor actually accompanied us. They took several x-rays of my finger. I was returned back to the examining room. The doctor returned with another doctor who spoke more English than he did. The second doctor explained that there was no damage to the bone in my finger. They were going to clean it for me. They did have some concerns about the fingernail and if it could cause a further infection or prevent healing, and asked my permission to remove the nail. I gave them that permission. They gave me 2 shots to numb my finger. They removed the nail right then and there, bandaged me all up, and escorted me out to the waiting area. I waited about 5 more minutes, and they presented my bill to me. I wasn't quite sure if it was right, so I asked them, is this correct? They said yes. Quick conversion, it was $32. $32 to go to the emergency room at the hospital, have an x-ray, and see 2 doctors and be treated. Total time in the hospital, roughly 45 to 55 minutes in and out. The last example I have for you is August, September, somewhere in there, 2022, I contracted COVID. And as a result of having COVID, my immune system was down and I ended up contracting, they're not sure if it was either bronchitis or pneumonia, probably pneumonia. And my throat was constricting really badly. It had swollen up. I could barely swallow, couldn't drink water. My girlfriend at the time was living in another city. She found a doctor that spoke English, and that doctor came to my house. I didn't have to leave the house. She arrived with a shot to give me to reduce the swelling in my throat and help me to breathe and to swallow again. She told me it would take about 15, 20 minutes for it to take effect. It took about 15 or 20 minutes to take effect. During that time, she explained to me that she needed 800 pesos to go to the pharmacy for me. She didn't want me to leave the house, but she was going to go to the pharmacy and get the additional medication that I needed. So I gave her 1,500 pesos. I explained that, hey, I would much rather you have too much money and then not enough and have to come back. So she was gone for about a half hour. She came back with the medication, the receipt, and the change. I think it ended up costing about 1,200 pesos for the medication. She explained everything, how to use everything in English. And the interesting part is she charged me 500 pesos, which is roughly $25 for the office visit. Plus I paid for the medication that she went and bought. So she came to see me, diagnosed me, treated me, ran to the pharmacy for me, came back for $25, 500 pesos. I don't know about you, but if you're from the States, I don't know of a single doctor that will make a house call, and they're sure not doing it for $25. So as you can see, if you have basic illnesses, it's very affordable out of pocket. Full disclosure at this point, I do not have medical insurance. I'd pay everything out of pocket, and most of the things that I have needed were go to a simple doctor like the examples I gave you and medication. Well, if you made it this far, I'm going to give you my life hack. So going and getting this medication, I get it from a pharmacy called Farmacia Similares, and they sell a lot of generics, and they don't usually request prescriptions unless it's like a narcotic or like a painkiller like penicillin or antibiotic, I'm sorry. So I always go there, and they're very, very helpful. Even with my broken Spanish, and maybe I have to pull up a Google of what the drug I need, but they always seem to have it or an equivalent that matches with it. So again, it's Farmacia Similares, and check them out if you have one in your area, or if you're coming down, you've never been here before. It's always one to put in your Google index or in your brain. So if you found this information helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. If you have questions, please leave a comment. Or if you have requests about some kind of information that you're not sure of, and even if you live in Mexico, or if you're planning on coming down for a visit or would like to move, go ahead and hit me down below in the comments and make a request. I do read all the comments, and I do try my best to do videos that people would find helpful. And I really appreciate your time, and I would love it if you would subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. Thanks again, and have a great day.